coffee's pouring strong. Talking Tigers all morning long. Saints exceed headlines on the screen. Breaking it down with a little caffeine. Grab your mug, come on in. Let's wake this day and let it begin. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple, gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. It's morning scone. Everybody on. Coffee's hot and the news is strong. Purple, gold, black and gold. Stories waiting to be told from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Talking sports and everything between. Wake up, smile, let's get it on. Start your day with morning scone. Where the coffee's hot, the takes are hotter.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. You need a roof. You call the winner of the best roofing company and the best of Baton Rouge, Parish Construction and Roofing. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Boat. That's not what I wanted to do. Boat Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. And FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Okay, good morning, everybody. Hope your day is off to an awesome start. Hope you had a great Saturday. I did. Really relaxing day. Got to spend the day just with Drew. Got an LSU practice report published for you from the scrimmage. Got to watch the Saints get blown out 34-0 by the Rams, and then hung out with some friends last night. Did sort of like an adult pool night. We grilled steaks and hung out by the pool, and great night. So hope for a great day today here on Saturday. I'm actually going to be hitting the road here in about half an hour, going over to Scott, Louisiana. Today we have voting for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class. So that voting process takes place every August. So today we will elect the new Hall of Fame class that will be announced in September and then inducted in June. So interesting process, fun to be a part of, and I'm excited to go do that today. Okay, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, podcast, subscribe to your favorite podcast app. We'll say some good mornings. The Saints were absolutely atrocious. They lose 34-0. There was just nothing good in that game, all the way down to the 100-yard pick six, a fumble at the goal line. Tanner Brown missed a 30-something yard field goal. I mean, everybody that was in position battles, nobody helped themselves. There was nothing good. No separation at quarterback, no separation at kicker. More hamstring injuries in the game. As now, I saw Jeff Duncan tweeted, you've got Jordan Tyson, Cam Jordan, Devin Neal, and Bub Means, who both suffered hamstring injuries as well yesterday. So, this preseason, this training camp is just an atrocity, and it cannot end soon enough. So, LSU, on the other hand, had their final scrimmage of fall camp So next Saturday is just a walkthrough. Like they go through the whole game day. They'll be at Lod Cook, which I don't know if they've announced this yet, but the team is moving. They're staying at Lod Cook this year now on the Fridays before games. So they'll go to Lod Cook. They'll take the bus over to the stadium. They'll do the whole walkthrough. It's basically like a mock game, right? They're not practicing, but it's just to go through everything from like running out the tunnel and the national anthem, the whole thing. So that's next Saturday. So this was their final scrimmage of fall camp. And defense, if you want, I have a written report at LouisianaSports.net, and I have my report over at Locked On LSU. So if you're going to go watch or listen to the full report, you can. But another good day for the defense to start. The ones-on-ones went 3 and out. And the offense put together a nice drive with some chunk plays, but settled for a field goal in the red zone. Twos kicked a couple of field goals and then punted. Offense started to loosen it up later in the scrimmage. Winnie Watkins had a long catch and run touchdown. Caden Durham, I was told, had 2 runs, long runs, like beyond 50, maybe like 2 70-yard runs. And again, if you're not like sitting there charting to see, there's not like down and distance on the scoreboard or anything, but like 2 long runs for Caden Durham, which is great to see. Dylan Jones only played 2 series and they got him out of there. So a little bit of rotation on the defensive line. It was Gerald's and Don McKinley who ran with the ones. And interestingly, Dylan Carpenter and Jordan Ross swapped. So Carpenter was with the ones, Jordan Ross with the 2 at edge. But I think that position is going to be so fluid now. Lamar Brown did not participate. And it's precautionary, right? I mean, I told you all this when Lamar Brown, on Tuesday, I think it was, in the team period, came up limping a little bit. He left. They put him in a boot. That was precautionary. He's not in the boot. He practiced Friday. He was not there Thursday, but practiced Friday. And they held him out of the scrimmage, which is a smart thing to do. It's nothing to be concerned about. It's just precautionary because you don't need to get anybody injured right now. So just get them ready for Clemson. So, okay. If y'all got anything else, let me know. Fire away. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate us, leave a review. We'll say some good mornings here. Hey, Survive, good morning. Jacob, what up, man? Ben, Bubba, No Sweat, Kelly, good morning, y'all. Thanks to everybody for being here. Rooney, good morning. RSP, good morning, Matt. I know it's preseason. That one stung. Yeah, man. You would like to see them play better. I think it certainly illustrates that the Rams have much better depth than the Saints. You would like to see New Orleans have played better, and some guys have stood out. But when you get so thoroughly waxed like that, it's just hard to find any of the positives. So if you have some positives, please let me know, because I didn't see any in that game. Kevin, good morning. Gumptious, Saints would have lost by 35 out of respect for Jaden as a 34. Nancy, good morning from the Hot 318. If the Saints are going to be injured all year, is this a 3-14 team? Well, one thing so I had a buddy text me yesterday after the game, very disappointed in it's someone that you might recognize their name, but very disappointed in the result. And I said, if 6 ain't out there, I ain't sweating it. Because the reality is, like, you built up this offense around Tyler Shuck. And so when Shuck and the starters are out there, let me see what it looks like week 1 against Detroit. I would say more importantly is how they looked in the joint practice, because that's when you actually got to see the starters. So when you saw Shuck and Olave and all those guys, Bryce Lance, slinging it around pretty good against the Rams defense, that's more encouraging than the preseason game is discouraging. See, the preseason game is more of an opportunity for guys who are trying to make the roster. And so it's a bummer for those guys who are trying to earn a roster spot to go play like that, right? But it's not a reflection on what the team will be week 1 against Detroit. Love this. Kade Anderson's first K was against Bregman. He should be buying a Rosarena freaking gift today. Yeah, so if you missed Kade Anderson's debut, he was lights out. He was basically untouchable through 4. He finished 5 2/3 with a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. He allowed the 3 runs, I think on 5 hits, if I remember the line. All 3 runs came in the 6th inning. No, he allowed 1 in the 5th, and then 2 were charged at him in the 6th. And Bregman was his first strikeout. So Kade Anderson's first career strikeout was against Alex Bregman. But then Bregman came back and homered off of him later in the game. So a little tiger on tiger crime both ways, which was cool to see, though. But congrats. The Mariners did get the win as Arozarena came up with the big swing in the ninth, the bottom of the ninth to win it. So Mariners put up a 3-spot in the ninth to win it. 5-4 was the final. So congrats to Kade Anderson on a successful debut, man. That's awesome. Hey, Donovan, good morning. Lance, good morning. Lost interest in the Saints after the fumble at the one. You made it that far. Can it be 2 weeks from now, please? Don't think I've been this ready for season start for a while. Let's go. Hey, Chris, good morning. Michael, good morning, Matt. Sure can't wait until preseason's over. Not fun to watch. Adam, have a nice day. Jacob, look at the gorgeous LSU cigar box. I was wondering if someone was going to notice. So, yes. We can go do the unveiling. This is the new Bocock box. Okay, as you've noticed, all the other ones are sort of the flat horizontal boxes. I love the design that they did. I think they nailed it. So, as you could tell, it's in the design of Tiger Stadium. The arches, just different on the side. Arches. And then Tiger Stadium right there with the Bocock logo. And when you open it, it doesn't open like a panel from the edge. It opens from the center with the helmet logo here, as you can see. And when it opens, it's like the stands of Tiger Stadium. So you could display it like that, which is really cool. And then obviously the board lifts up and they actually have a note, a signed note in every box from Coach O, who they did a deal with. And then the cigars are there. And it's the first Maduro blend that they've done. So you can tell, I think now, why I was so excited about this. It is an awesome design. The product is amazing as well. It's something that if you're a cigar smoker, you'll love the design and the cigars. If you're not a cigar smoker, you'll love the box. Is kind of like a display piece, a keepsake. And of course, if you use the code MAT15, MAT15, you can save 15% off. So, I would say buy a box, keep it in your office. If you smoke cigars, awesome. If not, hand them to clients or, customers or friends or whatever. Bring them to a tailgate and hand them out. But it's a limited edition. It's not like they're going to have it forever. So I'd highly recommend you snag one. And again, use the code MAT15 for 15% off your order at boatcockbrothers.com. As a matter of fact, let me just go put the link in the chat for you. Hang on one second. Whoops. There it is. Copy and paste. Boom. Okay, there you go. So shout out to our friends at the Bocock Brothers. Awesome job. Great LSU alums. Love the Tigers and doing great stuff in connection with LSU. Hey, W. Moore, good morning. What's up? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Adrian, good morning. Greetings from Texas. Okay. Rex, good morning. How would you compare the vibe of Kiffin versus LSU versus Brian Kelly? Do they seem like a fully bought-in team on a mission or team in progress? So yesterday's scrimmage was the alumni scrimmage. So every former LSU player was invited to go watch. They were invited to sit in the the South End Zone Stadium Club or suites or whatever, and watch the scrimmage. So I reached out to a lot of people who were there yesterday to try to get observations and things like that. And one very notable LSU football alum texted me, totally different vibe and attitude, more energetic and positivity than the last time I was here during BK era. Now, so that's not someone who comes to every game or anything, but it's a well-known former player. And I think part of that from the former players is that Ogeron had like an open door policy. Just if you're a former player, you're welcome anytime. Appointment needs, just walk in, come to practice, come to the facility. If you played, come on whenever. That's when they started the Tiger Walk. Of course, the former players could walk down the hill. And then Brian Kelly came in and kind of shut that off, right? Players are invited, but it was just like call ahead, schedule the time to come, make an appointment, whatever, if you want to come to practice. He had more rules, more boundaries. And so a lot of the former players didn't like that, especially after having the open door access that they had with Ogeron. So I'm not surprised that some former players would feel that way. But I also believe every coach has a right to run the program however they want. But Brian Kelly was great with the media. He was very open, gave us tons of access, was very candid with questions. Lane Kiffin has kind of been the opposite of that. That's his right. It's his right to run his program how he wants. But I guess I just keep going back to, look, last year at this time, y'all, it's hard to unknow what you know about how the season ended. But last year at this time, we were so fired up. LSU was preseason top 10. They had the number 1 portal class. They're playing at Clemson. It was all focused on that opener. Sound familiar? I mean, there was tons of excitement. I mean, people were picking LSU to win. I think, didn't Corso or somebody pick LSU to win the national championship last year? I had them as a playoff team. So there was a ton of excitement around this team, this program last year at this time too. We just forget it because of how it ended. Hey, Leon, good morning. Tear up the tape, get back to work. Cody, good morning. Is Wade's roster set? Seems concerning they still only have 6-ish players officially announced. Wait until classes start tomorrow. And you get your enrollees. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Coffee on the beach balcony during a thunderstorm and morning scone. Going to be a good day. Enjoy the frogs and Boudin and Scott. Okay. Devin, good morning. Is there rules in place that protects the player from school wanting to make roster additions? Can they start up say goodbye now that NIL is involved? I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. You're saying about cuts? But are the players are you saying are there protections for players on the roster getting cut? Is that what you're asking? And the answer to that is no. If they need to make room, they'll make room. That's one thing I did have a staff member tell me when because I told y'all yesterday I was going to try to find out how many roster spots, and I was told again it's a hard question to answer because it's not a definitive number. And that they'll do what they have to do. Meaning if they have a chance to add 3, 4, 5 players that they think can help them win because they know they're close, they'll do it, and they'll cut from the bottom. Eric, morning, Scone. Based on your intel on the depth chart, who is our most expensive transfer that will be on the bench? Curious how efficient our spending is looking. Yeah. No one significant. I mean, the most expensive transfers were Levitt, Seaton, Uman Mielen, Benefield. Jace Brown was your top transfer receiver. And Winnie Watkins got 6 figures. I don't know what Aluba got, but he's starting. I sure wish Defiling Green and Malik Blockton were playing better. I wish they had won the starting jobs, but I don't know what they're making. Hey, Lynn. Bad as the Saints game was, who impressed you? Marrero. Nobody. I can't tell you. I can't tell you I had a single positive takeaway. Crystal, good morning. Carly won the first round by TKO. Also won Friday night. Going to be Louisiana legend by the time she's done. Have a great Sunday. That's awesome. Yeah, congrats. Saw that. Carly Judas yesterday won her UFC fight. They were out in Sacramento. Is that right? yesterday. Keep on rolling, man. Louisiana's turned out not a ton of MMA fighters, but some high-level MMA fighters. When you think about Poirier, Dustin Cormier, Daniel Cormier, Dustin Poirier. Excuse me. I mean, Sean Jordan had a stint in the UFC. I mean, there's been some really good fighters come out of Louisiana. Hey, Mary, good morning. Love watching Cade's debut yesterday. That's awesome. Seth, do you know when they'll announce 7 and 18? I do not. Deborah, Scott, Club, good morning. Keith, let's see. Do you think Lane is going to put guys in position to succeed? Seems like Brian Kelly had a system. Guys had to adapt to his system. I don't know that I agree with that, Keith. I mean, just look at the two different quarterbacks that Kelly had during his time in Baton Rouge with Jaden and Nuss. You couldn't have been two more polar opposite skill sets. So I don't know that I agree with that. But it is something Lane says often, is that they adapt their system to fit the player. They don't rigidly put players into their system. And I guess I understand what he's saying, but I also realize they recruit to their system and their skill sets and what they do well. And like they want, for example, mobile quarterbacks. We've been over that. Like in 6 years at Ole Miss, their quarterbacks were either first or second on the team in rushing attempts every year. So like they're going to have a mobile quarterback. Craig, curious to see how quickly the new addition at D end is able to get up to speed. If Pyburn gets in, he shouldn't have much of a curve. Agree with that. Yeah, and I'll keep you posted when I hear about Junior Tua Halamaka ending up on campus. If we can get photos or anything like that, certainly let you know. Hey, Michael, good morning. TJ, good morning, Matt. I've heard everything you said all year about the team. I understand where you stand on running back room, but I'm telling you, Caden Durham will have his best season this year. Like, TJ, that's fine for you to say, but he is very clearly at best the third running back. Like maybe there's injuries or whatever, but like I'm not guessing, man. I'm talking to staff members, and it's Dylan Jones, Harlan Berry, and then Durham and Stacey Gage are battling for the third job. Like, yeah, I hope he's great. But if you think he's going to get 200 carries and rush for 1,200 yards, that's just not going to happen. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Let's see, who dat fan man? Good morning. Hardest working man in Baton Rouge. Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Zach, good morning. What's the word on Mothershed? How has he been performing? I remember you saying his name maybe a couple weeks ago. One to watch. Want to see where he's at. And are we going with the two freshmen up front on defense? So yesterday it was McKinley and Gerald's who ran with the ones. And then Anderson and Green were next, and Blockton rotated in. But remember, Blockton was one of the guys earlier in the week that was slowed as well. So that could have been part of that. And Mothershed's interesting. So he's the big 6'5" receiver out of Troy. Earlier this week, he was running at tight end for 2 practices and then went back to receiver. I think they are a little concerned with their depth at tight end, which is why they're pushing so heavily to get Daquan Wright. If Daquan Wright gets cut by the Browns, that's one that they definitely want to add. Adrian, first time here. Awesome, Adrian. Welcome. Appreciate you for being there. I think you commented earlier that you're from Texas. So thanks for being there. Do we do this every morning? Weekdays is always fired up at 6:45 Central Time. Go for about 30 minutes. And we're here on the weekends where we usually go a little longer, but I'm going to have to wrap this up in about 15 minutes right now because I got to get over to Scott, Louisiana to vote for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class. So a little bit shorter episode today than we normally would do on a Sunday. Hey, Cody, good morning. Jeff, LSU players still have their air conditioning in their helmets. That was the Tiger Air product. And honestly, I don't know if they do. I think that was, I know that was Patrick Coogan, and I think Greg Stringfellow had a piece of that as well. And Stringfellow is no longer the equipment manager. So I don't know that they still have the Tiger Air. What up? Good morning. Brian, good morning from Georgetown, Louisiana. Okay. Where's Georgetown, Louisiana? Hey, Scott, good morning. Jared, good morning. Brian, who's more talented on paper? 26 LSU or 23 Florida State? Oh, 26 LSU. That 23 Florida State team surprised a lot of people. Obviously, they had a great quarterback year, but then some of the transfers just popped. Remember, like you had Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, the cornerback from Virginia Tech, who's a good player. But they just had a lot. They had a lot of dudes, pop that maybe they weren't expecting. Keon Coleman, was a transfer from that team as well. But this team, I think it's fair to say. Like, let's look at hang on. Florida State had 10 players taken in that 2024 draft. So Jared Verse, Keon Coleman, Braden Fisk, Renardo Green, Trey Benson, Jarian Jones, Jordan Travis, Johnny Wilson, Jaheim Bell, and Tatum Bethune were the 10. I think this LSU team will certainly challenge, if not exceed, that number. Hey, Thomas, good morning. How concerned should we be about Trey Green, the drops you mentioned in Locked On? Man, I've had a few people pretty consistently throughout camp tell me, like, he's dropping too many balls. And not just him, everyone. It's hard to say without me seeing it, right? That's what makes it really tough about giving you these, like, practice or scrimmage reports when I'm sharing other people's notes, because I didn't see it, so I can't tell you. I was told, hey, man, he dropped a few more today. And then some people tell me, he's dropping too many balls. Like, well, is that just because you have super high expectations? How difficult were the catches? I mean, was it right on him and he dropped it? I don't know. But for a dude with that much athleticism, hands that big and a ball that small, I don't think you should ever drop them. But it's something to watch for sure. Hang on.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, as always, if you need orthopedist, you go to Brock, brortho.com. Locations all over Greater Baton Rouge. Parish Construction and Roofing, repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. We do gutters. We do soft wash. We'd love to help you out at parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Specifically, y'all, that awful weather on Friday night. New Orleans had a bad hailstorm. There's videos uptown New Orleans just getting pummeled with hail. If that's you, someone in that area, we'd love to help you out with a free, no-obligation roofing inspection, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness. You got your GLP-1s and all the aesthetic practices as well. Laser, hair removal, Botox, Brotox. They got it all at Unique Physique and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. That is the new Stadium Series box. So you can check it out at bocockbrothers.com. Save 15% with code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. And as always, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Jim, Kate's first K was Bregman. Yep, it's great. Hey, Rob, good morning. What are your thoughts about the addition of the point guard Dent? Good player. Yeah, man. I mean, he was a great point guard. Spent last year, his fourth season in college at UCLA. Hunt actually has, if you're interested, LouisianaSports.net. He's got a portal profile on Dent. If you want to go read it, as always, everything free over at LouisianaSports.net. But it is so Donovan Dent he averaged 13.7 assists last year at UCLA. 265 assists last year, second most in UCLA history, behind only Lonzo Ball, which is crazy. So, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's a plug-and-play starting point guard. Obviously, you had DJ Thomas a year ago. Injuries limited his season. You're trying to get RJ Lewis, the former Big East Player of the Year from St. John's, eligible. I've told you my feelings on that. I do not believe RJ Lewis should play at LSU this year, but they're going through the legal process, try to get him eligible. But here you have a guy in Donovan Dent who's a very capable plug-and-play point guard. Hey, Steven, good morning. Why do they close the dorms in the stadium? I had no problem with the window, unit, and iron military pins. I don't know why they stopped using the dorms. Maybe they just built new facilities around LSU. It's a good question. I don't know why they ever stopped. Hey, good morning, Stadlers. Doesn't it seem Clemson bringing in a new quarterback on the road in Tiger Stadium is going to be a death sentence? I don't think Clemson is going to be very good to begin with. And Christopher Vizina is the quarterback that's taking over for Klubnik, but they have a freshman there that's like a 5-star high signee that they're all very excited about. And their general scuttle out of Clemson seems to be they think that ultimately as the season goes along, the young guy's going to take over for Vizina if they're struggling. Clemson's Vegas has them over under 7.5. So they're looking at 7-5, 8-4 for Clemson. It's a reason LSU's a double-digit favorite in this game. Yes, I think LSU should be heavily favored and should win that game handily. Hey, Brian, good morning. Brad, good morning. Looking at LSU schedule, what game do you think could be a landmine nobody's talking about? Well, I think people are talking about it, but I think it's Auburn. And I could throw Kentucky in there as well. It's October. We're all looking at September and how difficult that is. And then you're looking at November as a really tough way to finish. October is sort of the breather. But sometimes that's when you have the letdown. I'm curious about Will Stein, first year at Kentucky. Kentucky's been a weird place for LSU to play over the years. Obviously, they won the Bluegrass Miracle game. They lost in triple overtime in 2007. They got their heads kicked in there in 2021. Even if you go back to Bluegrass Miracle, the year before in 2001, the SEC championship year, LSU needed a touchdown, a late touchdown drive by Rohan and Michael Clayton. They're in the final minute to beat Kentucky on the road that day. Shane Boyd was the quarterback, I believe, for Kentucky. Anyway, the Boyd and Lorenzen, I think, split time. But anyway, the point is, man, like Kentucky's always been a tricky spot. And Will Stein, 3 years at Oregon as their offensive coordinator, 3 different quarterbacks. All 3 years they were top 15 in the country in total offense. They bring in Kenny Minchie from Notre Dame. They bring in the running back from Texas. I'm blanking on his name. But the guy who was injured last year, Kade Anderson from LSU. I mean, they went and beefed up that offense behind an offensive coach that's got a lot of skins on the wall. So Kentucky could be a tricky one. And then, of course, you're at Auburn at the end of October, 11 a.m. Jordan-Hare's never an easy place to play. Alex Golish bringing Byron Brown with him from South Florida. I think that eases that transition. Auburn's probably a team week 8 that's better than they are week 1. So, I mean, those 2 in October I look at and I go, look out, man. There's 2 tough road games. Hey, Jay, good morning. Let's go. Mighty Tall, good morning. The logo and box are gorgeous. Bocock Brothers. Alabama fans thinking Russell's going to save their season, turn into prime Michael Vick is hilarious. I tend to agree with you. But everyone has hopium. Steven, how long is the Nike deal for? Other teams look cheap with Adidas or Under Armour. I do miss Russell, though. I don't know how long LSU's Nike deal is for, but they've had Nike since the mid-90s. So I don't think it's going anywhere. Uno, what's up? How we address these TRO players if we only have one roster spot left? As crude as it sounds, they'll cut from the bottom. If they need to. So if they have the opportunity to add Pyburn and Daquan Wright, I'll tell you, yeah, if y'all want to file this one away, this is another little tidbit I'll tell you. I was told, well, they want a corner as well if they can get one. I think they are looking to add a quarterback, not a starter, not anyone to compete, but I think I know they're interested in adding a quarterback because they don't feel like. So remember, Emil Picarella left after spring, and they brought in T. Martin's son. Well, I think, as I understand it, maybe Lane's not. Lane wants another, like a higher quality option to run their scout team than T. Martin's son. So, like, again, it's not like they're looking to add a quarterback that's trying to come in and compete or anything, but I think they do want to add a quarterback. So all I'd say, that's another roster spot, right? So, So, I mean, like, again, all things considered, if you're looking at Junior Tuihalamaka, Jack Pyburn, if they're able to add Daquan Wright, I know we talked about Xavier Harris. They want a corner. I think they'd like to add a quarterback as well. So don't be surprised if you see another round of injunctions, right? Players trying to get a TRO. I mean, that's 6. I don't know. Again, I don't think, let me be very clear. I don't think they're going to add 6. That feels unlikely. But, I mean, it could be that many, I think. I mean, the one they want, I know, that is the priority is Daquan Wright. Now, I think Jack Pyburn, as we talked about, I think is going to end up. And by the way, the Bucs last night played the Chiefs. We actually did have that game on, of course, Erica and the Chiefs. But like they showed Travis Kelce on the sign. Oh, Travie. I'm like, oh my God, Travie. Let's see. I was looking for Pyburn. We had the game on. I was looking for Pyburn. I didn't see or notice a ton from him or really anyone. But let's see. Pyburn. Maybe he didn't play. Let me look at this again just to make sure. Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Pyburn. 3 tackles. Yeah, 3 tackles in the game for Jack Pyburn last night. See, I only got a few more minutes, y'all, because I'm going to have to get on the road here in a minute. Brad, still going to invite Russ Mitchell under in the season? Absolutely. It was a fat baby fart. Hey, Mikey. Hello from West Virginia. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Musa, good morning. That's one of the cleanest cigar boxes I've seen. Going to get one for sure. Show it again for those who missed the grand reveal. So this is the Bocock Brothers Stadium series. Of course, it's got the LSU Tiger Stadium arches on it, as we mentioned. But it opens from the center. And it's like the stands of Tiger Stadium. So you display it like that. And then, of course, the field lifts up. There's a signed note from Coach O, and then the cigars are underneath there, and it's their Maduro blend, which is the first time they've released a Maduro blend. I had one last night, candidly, and it was outstanding. So code Matt15, 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 15% off your order. Let's see if we can get I got to go. Hey, Manny, do the Saints keep 3 quarterbacks? Oh, I think not on the 53. I think they'll cut either Rattler or Wilson and try to sign the practice squad, and that'll be the emergency game day quarterback. Steven, the TRO court abuse mess is mirroring our government abuse of the DOJ. Aaron, good morning. Real young citrus. I'm against these NFL players coming back to college. If it's allowed, why not take advantage of it? See, the thing is, like, it's not allowed. They're going through legal avenues to get it. But I'm going to say this again. I have a modicum of sympathy for is it 98 degrees at 10 a.m.? Oh my God. I have a modicum of sympathy for the 2022 players because they are the only group. Because like if you were a high school 2022 signee and you took a redshirt year, well then you're like, think Braylon Moore, right? Braylon Moore was class of 2022, but he used a redshirt, and so he has this year of eligibility. And then in 27 is the 5 for 5. So quite literally, the only group of athletes that were not able to take advantage of the 5 for 5 were the 2022 high school signee class that played 4 and 4. So like guys like Jack Pyburn, who never took a red shirt. And they were never given the opportunity to stay. They were told at the time, you're out of eligibility, you have to go. Well, then the rule changed. And so had they had the option, they could have stayed. So that, again, I get that it's gray, but that's the only group that I have a modicum of sympathy for, because like it's in contrast to like RJ Lewis, what we're talking about, the point guard. Like he left. He chose to leave with eligibility remaining. and went to the NBA. It didn't work out, and now he's trying to come back. He signed a 2-way contract. I do not believe he should be able to come back. That's why I'm very much against RJ Lewis being able to play for LSU. The international guys, I have no problem. College basketball rules allow for international players, even older international players, to come into the sport. Now, they changed that with the new 5-for-5 and the age restriction because the clock starts at when you graduate high school, when you turn 18. So you don't have the opportunity of going and play international for 5 years and then coming back to college basketball. But in the meantime, like, the international thing is allowed. Like, that's part of the NCAA rule. It's allowed. The challenge that I have is I understand just the optics of a guy wearing an NFL uniform and then coming back. But I do understand, like, the mistake the NCAA made is they should have given a blanket waiver to the 2022 class like they did in COVID, where it was like everyone gets a free year. Just everyone who's here in this year gets a free year. Okay. Like, they could have done that. And there's tons of players in 2022 who wouldn't have taken advantage of it because, like, Kelvin Banks was a 2022 kid who's already starting left tackle for the Saints. Like, he's not coming back to school. Yeah. And a lot of those 2022 kids wouldn't have an opportunity to play anywhere. Like, they'd just be done. But there are these instances like the guys we're talking about that, now it's made a mess. So, okay, I got to go. My apologies, y'all, if I missed you, but I got to go. I got to drive over to Scott, Louisiana. We're voting on the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class today, which is a great honor to be able to participate in that. And it's a really fun process, too, to be able to talk about and honor and recognize some of the greatest athletes in the history of Louisiana. So I got to get on the road because voting starts in an hour and 27 minutes. So I got to go. So y'all have a great day. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, podcast, subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate us, leave a review. Please go check out Locked on LSU. I did a scrimmage recap episode last evening. So if you want to check that out, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did on YouTube or on podcast. And all right, we'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Peace.